want to do. I've had a short part-time job at the Peabody, and I got to experience what was basics. I'd say probably fundamentals, maybe just like to brush your shoulder. It was a lot of help, and I think it put my foot in the door to see what I wanted to explore. That's it.
Okay. So my hope for you, John, right, is that the next time you tell someone your interest, you have like more confidence about it, And I think that's what happens with our students. We don't come across confidently because we're still kind of figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is if you don't come across as confident at the career fair or a networking event, people just are gonna dismiss you, like, oh, this kid needs to figure out themselves. Right? And I don't want any of our tigers to be dismissed. I want you to be taken seriously. So that confidence factor is key. Right? Yes.
My name is Marta Standridge. I have 2 interests that I would like to pursue. I'd like to coordinate exhibits and events for museums, or I would like to plan gaming conventions and expos.
Okay. There is an awesome Smithsonian museum internship that's been posted entirely recently. Yeah, I would, if that's something you're serious about, because it's museum special events. Ta-da! Yeah, right there, right? So when you know what you're interested in, right, and you get that out at the start, if someone's really listening like I was, right, and I'm trying to help you out, if I know something, they're gonna wanna share it. It's kind of natural, right? So when you're assessing yourself, you have to know your career goals, the skills that you possess, you have to know what fits your personality. So if you know that public speaking is not your thing, don't go into HR. Because in HR, you gotta do a whole lot of public speaking. You're onboarding new hires, you're giving training and development, all right? So you have to know that your personality fits that job well, right? If you like to be up and on your feet, yeah, so events make sense for you, because then you're not just stuck behind a desk all day, right? So you have to know that it's gonna be a right fit, all right? You have to, we're figuring out what interests you professionally, and the values that you have, they should be important to you, and you should find the company that matches your values. So, there are companies out there, and I'm gonna try to be really careful about how I phrase this, right, that have different opinions about different identities. I love some people in my family that have those identities. I'm not gonna wanna work for the company that is gonna be against the people that I love in my family that share that identity. That's soul searching that you've gotta do, right? Now, I'm a little bit older, just a little bit, and I can now kind of shun opportunities in a different way. And I think one of the things that happens with our students is you're so hungry for the job, like I just want to get a job where I have benefits and they're paying me, that you're willing to dismiss the values part a little bit too much. Don't do that, because then you're going to be miserable in your job. Like you're just going to hate being there because your values don't match the company values. So go back and do your research. When you're determining your purpose, you're gathering your information about careers, you're talking to different people, you're networking, right? You're obtaining advice about the job search. So if I'm now at a networking event and someone's saying, like, I'm really intrigued about sport competitions like Ironman. Do you know anyone in that industry, or have you guys ever hosted, people who compete in those kind of activities at your hotel? Just bring it up in conversation naturally. And they might be like, oh yeah, we do, my buddy over in Florida does this thing every year. I should put you in touch with them. So you have to start coming with the questions, like thinking about, all right, what can I ask so that I can get out of it what I need to get out of this conversation? And that wasn't done in an aggressive way. It was just like, hey, I'm really interested in Ironman competitions. do you know anyone in the industry, or has any hotel posted, like, how natural is that? And if people know something, they're really likely to just wanna share that with you. Like, oh yeah, I actually know, or they know someone who did it, and they are in this, you should look into this association, and now you're just getting more info, right? You can get some job leads that way as well, and you're definitely developing professional contacts for the future. The minute I've met that person who's given me that Ironman insight, what am I doing? I'm going back to LinkedIn, I'm connecting with them, I'm writing a little note. Thanks so much for the insight on, blah, blah. Definitely gonna follow up. Let's stay connected on LinkedIn. Simple, easy to do. So now for your elevator speech or pitch, all right? It's an abbreviated introduction of yourself. You've gotta come confidently. It's between 10 and 30 seconds max. If you're at 30 seconds already, it's way too long, all right? You're smiling, you're shaking hands, you're introducing yourself, usually by name, major, area of study, and like what you're into, right? You identify your career interests, and you state the purpose of a conversation, like, or what you're trying to get out of it. So the best elevator pitches or brand statements end with a question. Why should it end with a question?
It continues the conversation.
Bingo. Did you hear that? It continues the conversation. You're trying to have a conversation with someone. So if you're just like, yeah, and I go to the Kevin Wilson School, and they're like, okay, like, I mean, what do I say about it? Great. Or do you know so-and-so? Like, they're gonna try to come up with a question if they're interested in what you have to say. But the easiest thing you can do to set that up is by ending with a question. So here is a very long elevator pitch, for instance. I read it as fast as I can, and I still can't get it done in 30 seconds. All right, I've read this thing, I don't know how many times in my life, I still can't get this one in 30 seconds. All right, so if you want, take out your phone, you're gonna time me. There is some really good content in here that covers education, experience, and goals, right? But I just think it's too long. And I'm gonna go at my New York pace for you. And you're gonna see I still probably can't get it done in 30 seconds. So someone just tell me when to go.
Go.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones. My name is Joyce Smith. I'm a senior biomedical engineering major at the University of Memphis, where I'll graduate in May of 2017. Currently, I serve as president of the Biomedical Research Association and vice president of the Society of Women Engineers. Recently, I completed an internship at Wright Medical, a local medical device company. I'm interested in learning more about job opportunities in the biomedical field. What advice would you give to a student looking to enter your career field?
29, 10.
That's the closest I've ever gotten, guys. And I've read this, I can't count until at least 30 times in my life already. All right? There are some big words in here. I used to get tongue-tied. My rule of thumb is if you get tongue-tied on a word, don't use it, right? Because you don't want to come across stuttering, right? To me, it's too much. So looking at this statement, how can we compact it so that we get more to like the 10, 15 second kind of pitch? We know we need a name, so don't cut that out, right?
Experience?
Cut out like when you graduate in the job part with the Biomedical Research Association, vice president.
Yeah, so you're both saying the same thing right now. Like when she gets into the president of the Biomedical Research Association and vice president, that might be a little bit too much, right? But I could use that later on in our conversation. Oh, have you ever heard about the Biomedical Research Association? No, I haven't. What's that? Well, actually, I'm the vice president of that. On our campus, we invite employees. Would you ever want to come and speak to our group? What a great way to have a conversation going, right? And then you have natural follow-up right in there, right? But it's too much for just the pitch part. So if we're gonna shorten this, let's see how we do. We're gonna keep the first line, I'm gonna keep the second statement, I'm gonna even keep the third. Alright? I'll skip the Biomedical Research Association, and maybe just say, hey, I just completed an internship at Wright Medical, I'm sure you've heard of them, you know, and I'm really interested in learning more. What advice would you, you know, and I'm gonna get to it. So let's see how I can compact it, get your timers ready again, alright? And someone just say, shout at like the 10-second mark, so we know that that's 10 seconds. Okay, so Darius, you're gonna shout at like, 10 seconds, so I know, alright? Tell me when to go.
Go.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones. My name is Joyce Smith. I'm a senior biomedical engineering major at the University of Memphis, and I'll graduate in May 2017. I just completed an internship at Wright Medical.
10 seconds.
Okay, so you see that was not enough, right? So I might have to cut some more. Guys, this takes practice. You're not gonna get it on your first try. It's okay, but practice makes permanent, right? I definitely wanna end with the question, because it keeps the conversation going. So I can just say, I can probably say, I'll graduate in May 2017, really interested in the biomedical field, what advice would you give to a student who wants to enter the industry? And that's probably gonna get me to about that 15, 18 second mark, and that's that, alright? So what we're gonna do now is this worksheet, but, okay. Every time I give this worksheet out, students get like overwhelmed, and I'm like, why? So, you're not gonna answer every single thing on this worksheet. It's giving you ideas.